Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend and enjoying a Monday off, especially when it's a crazy market. Enjoy these days off. You need it to recharge your battery. This weekend update, I'm going to go over a couple of stocks we had this past week, and then I was just going to go over some of the bigger swing positions that we're sitting in right now. Does not mean I don't like a stock if I don't mention it on the video. I just needed a criteria to decide what to do on this video so that it's not 30 minutes long. So I just went with some of the bigger plays and event plays going into this upcoming week. But before we start, XSPA, another example of being a patient on a swing play. You recall Finale, our DD master in the room, found the job listings for XSPA last week showing that they were hiring for New York airports. So this was probably one of the easiest swings we've had in a while. You don't hire people if you don't have a contract. And on Friday, that news came to fruition and they announced that JFK contract. Stock ended up running up to about $1.15 before retracing back down. But as you recall, when we looked at it, it had a great cup and handle setup. We got into it. It took us 5 days to get 100% or more gains on this one. And you recall the target, as it is many times, you'll notice when you look at my videos, is big moving averages. This time it was the 200-day moving average. Now it blew through that on the news, but you can see towards the end of the day, we ended up closing right down towards that moving average. Moving averages are usually big magnets for a lot of stocks. This was an easy book the gains move and then just leave a free position going forward. And the reason for that is, the reason I wouldn't hold everything, even though this news seems pretty big, XSPA likes to do a lot of offerings. It takes a lot of volume to move. We got 100% or more onto the next train. FRSX. Now, this was a stock I went over last weekend because a lot of people were worried about sitting on a play that goes up and down. And as I've said, this is a stock that gives lots of dip opportunities for you to pick up day trading shares while you wait for the inevitable move. Now, you can see here, this was a chart we did on Friday, 1 hour chart. Got a nice downtrend break there at the 86, 87 cents level, broke up to 92 and then came right back down. Mark is still dominating the conversation just because they tweet a lot. They never really issue any press release. They just tweet all the time and the robots have latched on. As I've said before, I believe these guys here are going to be the bigger player in the thermal camera sector. They're in bed with FLIR. Read the earnings report. FLIR is all over that damn thing. Who do you want to be partnered with? Someone who only tweets stuff and never drops a press release, or a company that is in bed with the biggest guys in the market? The other great angle for this stock is their autonomous division, the robot cars, essentially. Another huge division that's going to be in the news going forward. Another chart here we're going to look at. This was the chart I showed you last Friday, showing the trend of the stock popping up and down. Now, I left all the notes the same. As you can see, we had a pop up, but we had an offering that tweaked everything. But again, that was actually good news, as I mentioned. The reason it was good news, this stock should be trading above mark. It wasn't, because as we know, whenever these offerings are coming, these brokers cap these stocks and manipulate them big time so that they can get their positions and get the pricing lower so they can make more money. The offering is now done. A lot of that manipulative pressure should be over now. But we were looking for a pop up over a buck on this chart. We ended up going back down. But the one thing to take from this chart, we have very, very strong support here in the 70s. So any dip, if there is one, into the 70s, I think is an excellent buying opportunity. If you wanted to keep a stop in mind, and when you're buying it, keep this in mind. 70 cents has been rock solid since that offering. That's where the offering price was, but it held above it. That is typically a very bullish thing when you see these stocks holding above their offering price and actually gaining above it. So if you're hesitant on this stock, if you do jump into it, just put in your mind 70 cents is my stop. That is where I would take a loss on this stock. If you're okay with that, you've got the correct position in it. If you're not and you're worrying, you either don't play the stock or you reduce your position size. And that's an easy way to play some of these swings that may take some time. The other one we talked about last week was HTGM. You recall I mentioned how this one had a setup that implied a big move. wasn't as big a move as we were hoping, but going from 42 cents to 54 cents is not bad at all. And then the chart continues to consolidate. As I've said many, many times recently, this is my favorite under one COVID-19 stock. Recall on XSPA, we knew a press release was coming because of the research Finale found in our chat room. HTGM has told us they are involved in COVID-19 diagnostics and testing and research. We just haven't had an official press release for them. It's in the conference call. Do you honestly think these guys are not going to put out a press release? It's when, not if. Now, we've got a nice setup here on this chart. I didn't really draw it too good here, but we've got a nice little bowl. You know, it's slowly going up. These kind of setups, even though the stock is continually moving higher, it's frustrating, guys, because guys want to be able to buy big positions and make a new house payment or buy a new house on every single trade. So these kind of slow 1-2 cent moves for a lot of these big flippers drives them nuts because they can't get in and out with big positions. You know, they want to be able to buy a Ferrari on every trade. Can't do that on a setup, which is great because when the press release comes, 9 out of 10 times, those guys won't be in the stock and they'll be the ones chasing. Now you can see here, 200-day moving average right now on the daily chart is up there at 64 cents. So that would be our next level we're going to be looking for in the next few days. Quick mention on DSS. This was the chart we had from last week, and lo and behold, when Monday came, it had a big pop-up, consolidated, ended up gaining about $1.50 on the day, and then we had a really small offering. But again, look where the stock has gone back to. It's gone back to that 725, 750 range. So we now have a very solid support on this chart, and this is another stock that we are playing. Remember, they're buying a COVID-19 biotech. We've seen what some of these small and large cap biotech stocks have done when they've announced success with COVID-19. These guys have that press release sitting out there for their merger partner. The closer we get to the merger, we're going to start to see some press releases from these guys. And if we look at the daily chart here, we're all the way back to the uptrend line. Great. We're at the same place we were a week ago, except it gave a $2.50 move in the interim. Now it's back down again. Let's see if we can get another $2.50 move before we get hopefully a press release for that run to 13. COCP. This is another COVID-19 biotech with a beautiful chart, but it continues to have someone put a foot on the head. It looked like we were going to finally break out on Friday, but you can see the 200-day moving average has been very strong resistance for this stock. When we get a close, I would say it would take probably 108 to 110 close on this stock. We're going to have our eyes on a move to 2. Again, on this stock as well, it has shown tremendous support in the 87 to 90 cent area. So we've got a 10 cent risk for a $1 upside. Those are great risk reward opportunity on a stock that could drop a nice press release anytime. NUV continues to be one of my favorite non-COVID-19 plays. They do have a COVID angle to them with their AI searching cases, but this is an AI advertising play. As I mentioned in a couple of the alerts this week, right before the quarter ended, they had signed a major hotel chain and a major airline to a contract. So they had to put it on pause, obviously, because everything shut down. This is a shutdown over everything opening up play. You don't think these hotels and airlines are going to be advertising hand over fist to get people to start flying and booking again? And I mean, this is another great uptrend chart. Every few days, it has a big spike. Last big spike was about a week ago. We've got this nice tight consolidation here on this chart, 42 cents. Really, when we break 50 cents on this, my target, like I said at the start of the year, I was looking for over $1 in this stock. This company had a buyout offer for $1.60 before they developed their AI advertising, which is going gangbusters right now for them. Very, very cheap advertising play. There's going to be billions spent on this upcoming election, also an election play. Space B. All you hear on the news is COVID-19 exploding in the jails. This is the play on that. Plain and simple. anklet bracelets to keep track. They're releasing a lot of people and going to be releasing a lot of people. Again, this is another stock that told us in a press release that it has contract news coming. It can be frustrating sitting in them, but you can always take solace in the fact that we know a press release is coming, and we know that's coming. And 90% of traders out there, all they're doing is chasing news. So we know the news is coming, but when the news comes, I could see people chasing this thing up at $2. Patience play. ZFGN. We've been in this one a couple of weeks. It was a swing earlier as well. Merger plays have been doing very, very well of late. I actually wanted to hold off on this one until next week, but we've got the vote later this week for the merger. These guys are sitting on $1.50 cash, plain and simple. That's why my target is $1.50. We had a huge volume move into this one late in the day. Any dips this stock gives to the 90, 95 cent area would give a great opportunity to pick some up. Look what some of these garbage merger stocks have done, doubled, and they didn't have the cash that this company has. That's all I'm going to say there. SCON. SCON is another merger play. Just looking at this chart, 42-cent break. Plain and simple, we'll be looking for 60 cents plus. It's a buy. It's holding the 200-day moving average. You see right here, it's staying above the 31 cents area. So anytime you see a dip here, instead of crying, you should be going, should I be picking up more shares? Well, this video is getting long. Let me shoot through the last two here. CPHI, beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. Love these kinds of setups. The virus is exploding again in China. These guys have hand sanitizer and masks in China. Close over 50 cents, and this thing's off to the races. We're looking at 75 cents to $1. Just a beautiful chart. RSI is ready to bust out. We've got a strong ADX. Stochastics look great. This stock is coiled for a move with really rock solid support. Love these kinds of chart looks. Last one I wanted to mention was BINGO. BINGO has an event on Wednesday. BINGO and BIOC are both presenting at Maxim's COVID-19 specialty, whatever the hell they're calling it, conference. 50-cent break. You know, if they pump out a press release, we could be looking at a move to the 200-day moving average at 90 cents. So this video got away from me. It got a little bit long. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and I will see you all in the chat room on Tuesday. Bye.